Hello, I'm Hardy Smith, a consultant for nonprofit organizations, and in my work I have had the very real pleasure of working with Mark Billings, who is the Executive Director of the Southeast Volusia Habitat for Humanity affiliate. And this particular affiliate of Habitat International has an amazing story behind the success that it is currently having. Mark, thank you for joining with me to share some of the background on what's making a difference for your organization. Southeast Volusia Habitat for Humanity provides an excellent example of how nonprofits can do more with less. There are 48 Habitat affiliates in Florida, and Southeast Volusia is in the bottom quartile in size. However, now get this, with their approach to achieving the Habitat mission, they are in the top quartile in production of new homes and critical home repairs. They unquestionably meet the definition of small but mighty, and they have ambitious goals for doing even more. Now, Mark, what do you attribute this success to?
Well, first, Hardy, thank you for taking time. You're very familiar with our organization. Hardy in his world has done some leadership development with our team and helped us to achieve this. So in some degree, you deserve some credit as well. So thank you. What I would start with is our business model. We're a faith-based organization, and our business model is effective because of volunteerism. 85% of our volunteer or our labor force is volunteer, whether that's construction or in our restore where we generate revenue to build and repair homes. If it were not for our volunteers, we would not enjoy the success that we currently have.
So volunteers very much is a key integral part of the success that you've got going on. Mark, one of the fascinating things to me that I've really enjoyed sharing across the country is that you here in Southeast Volusia, you've initiated a culture change within the organization. Would you share the purpose and the outcome you've been looking for with your culture change initiatives?
Yeah. So the culture in Southeast Volusia, whether you're a volunteer, a board member, staff member, or someone who even comes out from time to time just to observe like you've been involved with and others in our community, whether it's the Chamber of Commerce or others, is really grounded in our core values. And it's 8 simple words really that we all embrace. And the first 2 is positive energy. Regardless of where you work or volunteer in our organization, we expect you to show up and behave with positive energy. There are those that are less fortunate. There are folks in our community that currently are unhoused. They're not sure if they're going to have a meal. And for us, our problems pale into comparison to some of them. So we show up with positive energy. The second of the 8 words is we have to have a balanced focus. Our organization, people say, well, what do you do? Are you a builder? Are you in retail? Well, yes, we're all of those. We have a retail store. We do construction of new builds, repairs of old builds. We carry the paper currently on 140 homes. So wow. We're a loan organization. So we have to have a balanced focus across many disciplines and service lines. The next 2 words is measured approach. If we come in and say, you're not on time with this, and it gets everyone, it cascades out, what happens is our volunteers go, I don't need these headaches. So we have a very deliberate, measured, calm approach. And the last 2 are the most important. I tell over 100 volunteers, I just had lunch with some of our volunteers from construction today, every one of our 21 employees, and all 12 of our board members. There's 2 words as to why we exist. And if you can't embrace these 2 words, this may not be the best culture for you, and it's keys and Bibles. That's what we hand out every time we dedicate a home to a deserving family. We build a house, they make it a home. We give them, and many times, their first ever family Bible and the keys to their home. And I tell them to put this family Bible somewhere where you see it. Don't put it locked up with your deed. Put it where you see it and reflect on it and read it daily. So that's what makes our culture unique in my view.
And what are some of the differences that you've seen since these culture change initiatives?
So we have brought these values to life in a way that the foundation of it is teamwork. And I'll give you an example. We had a couple of our volunteers that were unable to make it today because of doctor's appointments and various things. And I happened to be touring one of the construction sites, and there's a young man working at the Restore on the payroll, and he's got a paint roller going at the job site. He goes, we had everybody at the store today. We could go down one. They were short two here, so I'm working the build site today. So to me, that bringing that culture of teamwork together, if we're short here, then we move over here, that flexibility, because it all goes back, Hardy, to the two words, keys and Bibles. If we don't get the house painted, we're not going to be able to get the keys to the family.
Wow, just really fantastic. What a story this is. Now, Mark, you are very active in other community leadership roles, and there's a purpose to that, I believe. What does that other involvement, how does that other involvement relate to the Habitat for Humanity mission and your work?
So we believe that we need to be as part of the community as any other organization. Whether we're a not-for-profit or business community leader, we need to be involved, share a point of view, a perspective. There are a couple things I'll highlight. Number one, I'm the vice chair of the Volusia County Affordable Housing Advisory Committee to the County Commission. That gives me an opportunity to help shape the thinking of our elected officials as it pertains to affordable housing. We have a voice. I also currently serve as the chair of our Chamber of Commerce board. It enables me to interact with over 550 businesses in our community. Why is that important? Because I'll go back to something I said earlier. Our labor force is volunteer. As we work with our community leaders and business leaders and they buy into our mission, guess what? They come out and they help. Sometimes they don't even know which end of the paintbrush to hold initially, but in time they frame walls and install windows. So that's very important to me. And then in addition to those things, I'm very involved at the state level, serving on the State Habitat for Humanity Board, so I can help frame our thinking around what legislative issues are important for us to address, because at a state level, our number one strategic imperative is advocate for our cause. So I think it's important whether you're at the local level or at the state level or even the federal level, because there's such a need for affordable housing.
Well, that's tremendous. So it sounds like it very much pays dividends for you as a recognized leader to step outside of your immediate silo within Habitat and to share your leadership expertise with other organizations. That's an awesome result. So Mark, what other insight would you like to share with our audience today about leading transformational change?
So first off, leadership in of itself is hard. Transformation is hard. And I share with our board and our staff, there are two things to think about this. It's not transactional, meaning if we want the room dark, flip a switch, it's dark. But if you want mood lighting, you got to adjust it a little bit until you get it right. Transformation takes time. The first key element to that is you have to role model the behaviors that you want both up, meaning the board, across with your staff and your workers. You have to role model the behavior you want. If I come in and I don't embrace positive energy, guess what? They won't buy into the culture. The second piece of that is being authentic. If you're having a conversation with an elected official or a person who drives our delivery truck, you have to be able to share the same authenticity as it pertains to our mission and why it's important to share what we do and how it's so meaningful. In our 36-year history, Hardy, we have built over 164 homes.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. What I'm even equally as proud of, we have repaired over 1,000 homes.
Wow.
So we have done things from total remodels from 3 foot down when they flooded during a storm, to someone who is now with a walker in a mobile home and they can't get on and off the commode, and we install grab bars, soft floors and trailers. Sometimes we'll spend more to repair a trailer than its market value. But guess what? That's their home. They have no other option. So I'm equally as proud of that as well.
Mark, this is an absolute phenomenal story that Habitat for Humanity in Southeast Volusia has. How can someone who is intrigued by the story and wants to be involved in the mission, how can someone learn more about Southeast Volusia Habitat for Humanity?
So we would love for everyone that sees this to be involved in some way. You can be involved through your philanthropic generosity. You can be involved by your sweat equity and coming out and help. Or you can be an advocate for us and speak to the work we're doing in the community to help us generate, whether it's through your church, through your elected officials, or any of your social organizations that you're involved with. We're on the social media platforms. You can find us on LinkedIn as well as Facebook, or you can go to our website, Habitat SEV, that's Southeast Volusia, habitatsev.org, and find out. You can make a donation, you can sign up to volunteer, and I will say this, as I have seen you out there, I have photos on my phone of you on the business end of a hammer. So Hardy not only is highlighting what we do, he actually walks that walk as well, and I'm appreciative. Thank you.
Mark, thank you so very much. Congratulations to the board, the staff, the volunteers, and all of those who support this amazing organization, who are indeed making Southeast Habitat for Humanity a model for other nonprofit organizations.